Hi everyone, welcome to this week's stream, live stream with gifts. Maybe that's the name I should call it now. But yeah, I'm excited to be doing another one of this. I've not done in the last 2 weeks, so yeah, I'm glad I'm back. Today with me, I have very important, interesting.
I will not say important.
Yeah, I have Victor, and he's going to be talking about heartthrob, which is a React library that he built, and we're just going to have a fun conversation about all of that. So, over to you. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I can introduce myself. Yeah, I'm Vítor Norton. I was a Microsoft MVP, then I became a Windows Insider MVP.
Oh,
That's the award you get from testing Windows and sending feedback and listening to community. And that was a really big part of my life because I do love UX design. I do love working with prototypes and developing and etc. So I kind of see myself working on that area, and that led me to work with developer relations, developer experience. Now I'm a tech writer, so I kind of write documentations, and it's a bit challenging because I have to write in Portuguese and then in English and later in Spanish. I don't know, a lot
wow.
of languages coming up. So it's really cool to work in the developer experience field. And that's where Health Hub, the framework that I'm going to share. I don't know if the pronunciation is correct, Health Hub. I always say that way. I saw that word and I thought, oh, that's a really good word. So,
I mean,
um,
I was going to even ask you, what was the inspiration behind it? Yeah, and it's also when I think about it, I think heartthrob, but then when I was trying to spell it, I saw that I was spelling it wrong. So it's not literally heart and then rob. There's like an extra T between it. So I'm like, okay, what's
yeah.
the story behind this, right?
I just want the name to sound like this beautiful thing, this a fancy thing, because early on in the project, the idea was to use some of the Windows Phone design, like the Metro UI from Windows 8 and stuff like that. And it became much bigger when in the community on Twitter that there's this guy called Michael West. He
Mhm.
does prototypes for all kind of Microsoft products. He became a Microsoft designer later, and he made this prototype of how Windows should be. I
Mhm.
don't have the link right now, but that
Um,
became the inspiration for me to make this project,
yeah.
this UI, everything about it. So that the name came with showing. Oh, I want to show a beautiful thing. I want to
Mhm.
show something great and something fancy.
Yeah, I think that I saw the inspiration. So in the GitHub README, you added like a link to it, and I was like, oh, interesting. So
Yeah, I did. Let me pick up here. Just I have the link somewhere.
I have it too. I just saw it now. So
Yeah, I will find it. To the end of this conversation, I will find it.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I found
I found it.
it.
At the same time.
Yeah,
Oh, the page is not found anymore. Oh.
it's sad. But I know that I've seen this before. I've seen Fluent Kits before.
Yeah, but I will send the link here in the chat. I don't I will send to you so you can put in the chat. It's the
Yeah.
Michael West designer, the website from him, and he's also I met him later with the Microsoft team
Mhm.
and the Windows team, and he does awesome jobs, and it's kind of the inspiration of the design that we're going through. And he's inspired by the Fluent design from Microsoft, so it's all
Ah,
good.
I don't want to say, but I feel like maybe because it works at Microsoft now, that's
No,
why.
he became Microsoft after this.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, he became after this. I don't know if he's working at Microsoft right now, but
Yeah, okay.
I should catch up with him.
Okay. But yeah, it's nice to hear the story behind the name, which is obviously an interesting story. But now I'm interested in actually seeing the framework.
Yeah.
What?
So let me show you. I will share my screen. Just hang on just a sec because I have everything set up here, but now it's a mess. Let me
Really,
share my screen.
I think I should start
Yeah.
people how many tabs you have open. Yeah.
So this is it. This is pretty much it. Actually, this is an early version. Back in 2019, I have changed my job. I have changed city. I have changed everything that I knew so far from CSS and JavaScript. So this Health Hub website is a project that I wrote in 2017 and 2018. From that to now, I'm doing in another thing, and it's way better. I will show you glance of it, but it's this is only the start. So
Okay.
this I it kind of have the same classes that a Bootstrap website developer would use,
Mhm.
and it's taking so long to load because I'm on live streaming. It was working perfect right now.
Yeah, demo always fails when you have streets. Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of the uh, Bootstrap classes and how Bootstrap works, but I really work at the typography. I had studied a lot of typography. So we have pretty nice things in the typography with shadows. This is what a block quote would look like.
Mm,
A card, so I can set up a card. Uh, I can set up multiple colors from the block quote. Uh, this page is kind of, I don't care too much about this page. The next page, layout page, is way better, but I'm introducing the basics.
yeah.
Checkbox, pretty good checkbox. Uh, radio button. The buttons looks pretty awesome too. With icons, font awesome icons.
Okay.
This one is only CSS, but I have made it with React. I will show you later. It's in this tab. And the layout part is something that I really like because I have. This is the part where I differentiate with Bootstrap.
Mm-hmm.
So I have shadows that I can apply. I have the materials and the acrylic material. That's material that, let me jump here so I can show you. Um, this acrylic material put a blue effect in the background,
Mm,
so it kind of looks like what Microsoft is doing to the systems right now with Windows 11 and stuff like that.
okay.
So
Yeah.
just by using this class acrylic, you should put acrylic all over your system. So there we have the class, the cards, and the cards has this awesome thing that I call taskbar.
Mm-hmm.
So I can put actions in here. Uh, just showing a little bit here. Delete, save the taskbar to be back. Kind of works pretty good. Next step, they open the next step, next, and I
Yeah.
tried very much to make this all CSS. I do not want to make a JavaScript out of this, but sometimes, in this case, I have to make a JavaScript thing to work on. But it's pretty simple to use. Um, here I can just click and open the content, and this is actually all of the scenarios because I was doing all of these boards and stuff for companies to manage a lot of things. So I was kind of using all of my things, and I said, "Oh, I will put in a framework.
Yeah.
So this is not just like me playing and just playing with CSS and HTML. This is actually something that I needed, and something that I saw other people needing it. Um, like menu, and the biggest thing here for me is just that I can click out and it will disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the header, most of this is CSS, so it picks your name and creates an avatar with your name. And I have really extensive UX research here to make that happen. So this UI is kind of great for this header. I can add notifications and it will start counting, uh, and we stop at 9. It needs some adjustments here, but that's okay. Um, it works just like uh, Bootstrap would, but I think it's way beautiful. And we have this navigation where I can use a dark mode and a light mode, and I can close it, open. The idea is
Oh,
not to have these scrollers over here, but you got the point.
yeah, all the animation and everything, and
Yeah,
all of that is done with CSS.
it's done
Wow.
with CSS,
I'm
only
seeing
CSS.
I'm seeing like as you're going through each of the components, I'm like reliving my Windows days because it's really like it's essentially it's inspired by Fluent design, meaning that it's going to look like it. So when
Yeah,
you put the button thing, I remember that I've seen that somewhere else before, and of course, yeah, this one, yeah, seen that before. But yeah, this is nice, cool.
yeah. The idea is just to make feels familiar and intuitive to use.
Yeah.
So this menu, I have literally copy and paste some of the CSS attributes there from the Azure DevOps back then, how the menu should feel and should work. And this was actually passed on in two major systems that I have built and shipped. So it works. It actually works. Um, but then I started to learn a little bit of React and SAS and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
this is kind of the basic of the work that's on the master. Oh, I have changed it already. The main branch.
Okay.
But if you switch to developer branch, you see less and less. This is open source, by the way. It's
Yeah.
MIT. Uh,
I just shared
MIT license.
I just shared the link on the chat.
Oh, awesome.
Check it out.
um,
Yeah.
it's less and less JavaScript. It's more SAS now. But the idea here is to keep it simple,
Mm-hmm.
because I know, I don't agree too much where the front end community is going right now. It's too hard to make a website. I have a situation to tell that I was doing this landing page for a company,
Mm-hmm.
and all of our stacks was using React and stuff like that, but it was just a landing page,
Page. Yeah.
and we had to make a button to redirect to another site. And the team that I was working was like, "Oh, let's make a React," and said, "Oh, please don't." And they made a React application. And I was just thinking, oh, if the person had switched the browser to not use JavaScript, it will not load the website.
More. Yeah.
And it was a really big fight, to be honest, because the person wanted to use a button component from React that he created. And I was like, oh, this will not work just as well as a anchor link. It simply don't work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we are talking here about accessibility. Okay, he put a role link in the button, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, and we are like fighting so much and discussing so much about it. In the end, he had to use Webpack to build that. He had to create tests to make tests out of it. He had to create SaaS and a lot of things that is just a link with a simple CSS, and that's
Mm.
why I'm thinking the front end community is doing a lot of great stuff, but at the same time doesn't make it easy for you to start to learn. I teach a lot uh, people who want to switch careers and start in the development field. And the idea here is to make it simple. If you pick up the Bootstrap code, you will not understand what's happening there. You have to understand too much front end to understand what the Bootstrap framework is doing. Here, I can just go to the source. We have the SaaS, and right here you can start. Oh shit, this is important. This is just important.
Yeah.
But everything that we're working on, we have simple CSS here. It's not the best from the best. Oh, this is not really good. It's under development, people. Let me pick the button components.
I think I agree with what you're saying with like over engineering and not knowing when to like do, like for example, if you're trying to build a landing page, you can just write HTML and CSS without
Yeah,
a framework. Or is that what people actually do? Maybe I'm even guilty about that. I have like a Linktree website built in Vue, but it's basically just showing four links, like link to my YouTube, link to my. But it's actually I plan to make a full-fledged website. That's why I went to
yeah.
Vue.
Uh,
But
I think uh,
yeah,
uh, I think that if you're doing it just for fun
mhm,
to study, you can do it. It's okay, but in the end, it's only you that's consuming this product. It's only you that's developing it, so that's okay. But if I'm going to make a full website, a full system, full application that it will have a lot of teams working on that, it should be simple as just going to this file and alter the menu class, the navigation class.
yeah.
It's simple. If I want to change or switch anything from the Bootstrap, I don't even know how to start. It's complicated. I have to
I
npm stuff. It's complicated.
it is. It's a lot.
So that's where we are going in the develop branch, and I'm trying to clean up all the JavaScript files from this project because it had evolved to a Health Hub React project.
Yeah.
That's another one.
I
Let
I
let
saw.
me. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I saw that you had heartthrob and then that you had heartthrob-react. And then I was thinking, oh, okay, under development, meaning that you're still working on it. So probably the one you show me today is the heartthrob. But yeah, I'm happy to see the work that you're doing here with the React one.
Yeah, that's the main branch I had for 2 years now without any updates. So if you go to the npm, you see some components, but it's buggy. It's not good. It's not good. If you switch to the developer, actually it's already in the npm, but let me show you npm, Health Hub, React. All of those is on the npm. Uh, load. Go faster, please.
Yeah.
But I have these beta versions
Okay.
from of the version, so this is where I'm currently working on, and I'm taking the time to work on that. So I think I'm launching it next year. I'm not in a rush to do it because I want to do it in a great way, in a simple way. So if you download the code, oh, that's for later. If you download this code and do npm install, and
Mm-hmm.
then npm run storybook, you see this page.
Okay.
This is the components written in TypeScript actually, and then React. So this is another implementation from the buttons that we saw early on.
Yeah.
We have the card. It's a basic card uh, with the action buttons. So if you're doing, for example, a table where you have to add, to delete, to edit a bank editing option, this would be the way. Um, if you want to create a taskbar, a card with a taskbar, you can just simply. Let me show how this is actually working the code.
Yeah, that would be nice. Cool.
Card stories.
I like that you're using Storybook, by the way. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I love it. So this is actually it. I have created a card component with a taskbar and just put it in mode edit. Just by doing so, it creates the return button, the delete, and the save button. And I can edit the label, I can edit the icon, and I can edit the action that each button will do. But only specifying the mode
Mm-hmm.
does that. I don't need to make anything. This is actually the event, so I just made anything just to go by. It's a storybook. It's not the application itself.
Yeah.
So it's pretty simple. It's less code, more work. This is the idea actually from for the Health Hub fundamentals. That another project that grew from this, that I should not have to work too much to make a simple stuff. Um, and I have the buttons here. Wow, why is the button showing the header? I don't know. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. But here you can see how it updates a little bit because I added a few color and the typography has changed a little bit from the previous one. I can open that later. And I have this loaded button where if I click in on the delete, it will. Oh, it's not working. Let's keep moving on. But it will. Let me just doing that. It will show a loading until it times out or you have an answer. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. And it's simple implementation as well. Let me pick up the load button. It's just a load button with the loading text and what actually happens, the delete text and on click. Just that.
Is that loading in Spanish?
No, actually, it's in Portuguese or in
Oh,
English, or I'm trying to write in English.
because I it's interesting. You see English and then you see Portuguese in a code base. Interesting.
Yeah, I will look at that. um, we have this management info. This is something that I do a lot in every dashboard, in every item. I have this card for management info where I simply put who created, who updated. Here I have this updated. This is actually just how it plays out. Um, I just have this component called management info with an item. If the item has these properties, it will show up and it will do all of this. Discard and the reason updated, the date and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I was using too much. So let's just simple things up and put it in one place. And the password input. This is another one that's one of my favorites actually, because I can start working on password. It's just showing.
Sorry.
Oh, I have to have at least 8 characters. Now I have to have an uppercase. Now I have to have a number, special character. I can see what's going on, what I have typed, And if I type here, it's saying password does not match. But if I type correctly, it will show the password here. And how, let me go back saying that I want to make it simple. So how does this work out in the code?
Yeah.
The password is just a password input. I only do that. And if the password succeeded and matched from the field A and the field B,
Yeah.
then it will set the password. It's a message that they submit back to the parent. So it's just that I have this component over here, and I can use in login page, in a lot of a lot of pages. So this is kind of amazing for me to work with that. And then
Good,
that's the
actually.
Help Hub React. I have another project coming up from this because this is only the front end.
Mhm.
Okay. I have a back end as well for that.
Interesting.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You mentioned
So
also use this in like your own project and the project that you work on with folks, right?
yeah, the thing is, I want to make different projects because my website actually is on WordPress.
Mm. Okay.
So I have used Help Hub here to make everything in this website. I think it's a great website. It's beautiful. At least I think so.
Good. You
uh,
it's great. Well, it's nice, definitely.
yeah, and it uses Help Hub. It's only the CSS from Help Hub. Uh, let me put the link here. It's only the CSS from Help Hub. I don't need to use React here. But if I have a project that only use React, I can use the React. Um, and but mostly the things that I do is an application to manage something that I don't want to call it a bullet plate, but it works the kind of that way.
Yeah.
So there is too much things that we do in every application that we work on, like authorization, authentication, and too much. I'm a user experience guy. I'm focused at developer experience. So I know that uh, if you spend a lot of time, no matter how long you spend in a project, you will not have a good experience for the user because at some point in a project you have to decide. Actually, the PM, the PO would have to decide. Oh, you should do that because um, you should you should have to do this because it's the business. You have to do this feature. You cannot switch how you present the name of the person is already presenting, so they will not prioritize user experience in the first place.
Mm.
It's rare actually from the projects that I've seen, from the people that I have talking. It's rare that they prioritize user experience. Um,
I agree.
so this is where I'm going to. So actually, I have this backend project.
Mhm.
This is a pretty simple project that you create on Visual Studio .NET.
Oh,
Uh, Almost the same thing. I haven't done too much here. I just set up a unit test here that doesn't do anything. But the only thing that I have changed here is the application settings, where I have put some Help Hub configurations, like what's the language that you want to work with, the system information like project name, contact, the API version, um, stuff like that.
okay.
And on the startup, I have just used this add Help Hub, pushing down the DB context, and also the configuration. Just that.
Mhm.
Uh, this line and this other line here that use HelpHub Dev Tools. I will talk more about it later.
Okay.
But these just two lines, I can create something that really like. And that's not here. Let me open it. Uh, remember, this is a simple project with .NET. I have done too much here.
So
All the things that I will show you is only have Hub doing it.
yeah. So question: if I'm interested in using this backend um, version, so I'll probably need to be building a .NET project, and then I need some components to use, and then I'll use it, right?
Yeah. Uh,
Since
I
it's
actually have a backend and a front end for it. I don't know how this is gonna play out as a business plan. I'm still working on that.
you're doing it
Um,
for yourself first, and then you see
yeah,
what.
but I think it's gonna be free. I want it to be free and open source, but at some point I see, oh, I have to make money from that as well. So if you have an idea, please reach out to me. Actually, if you want to use it, reach out to me. I can get it free for everybody that's in this live streaming. So just reach out to me.
Sure.
So actually, it creates a Swagger already for every endpoint that you have. You have the Swagger, the Open API, and it has a few endpoints like authentication with two-factor authentication, confirm email, register, everything. Edit profile, get the profile, the image profile, the bio, and stuff like that. Get security info where I let me see if I have here security info. I don't have the schema here. Okay,
Yeah.
where it shows is the two FA okay? You have changed your password in less than 90 days. All of this it's returning this endpoint, and endpoint to edit the email, the phone, the password, all of these endpoints. The idea here is to have a lot of endpoints and more stuff because I have starting to rewrite this project. So I do not have all of the endpoints that I had on the previous version, where I could manage all of the users in my application, where I can manage the privacy terms of the application, where I can manage the release notes for the application, configurations like feedback, submitting feedback to the owner, submitting, I don't know, I forgot the word in English, a service desk, almost of a service desk system inside it, a notification, search, everything that's specifically about user experience. I will put it just in there for me as a developer to focus on the business plan of my client.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the front end part of this is this one
Yeah.
that I switch out here. Let me just refresh a little bit where I can registrate. So let me create a something here.
So from what I see, you're building a fully fledged component library application that you can reuse whenever you are, building stuff. So it's like your single source of truth for everything that you're doing. If you need a button, you have one. If you need the login component, you have it already, and then you just keep
Yeah,
working on it and improving on it. Cool.
yeah. Because the thing is, I want to use everything from the backend, from the Swagger, but I don't want my application to be a React application. I want it to be a React Native or a Xamarin project or any project you want. You can use that structure. You don't have to follow the design that I have created here.
Okay, okay.
It's not attached. But if you want to follow the design here, let me show you how this works. It's simple configuration as well. Just a sec. I haven't opened it before. I only have opened the front end. This project, Have Hop Fundamentals sample, it's open source, but how they consume, what they consume, it's not open source. I will show you more better. Just yeah, this one, init Half Hop. I have a simple application in .NET. Oh, not .NET. TypeScript React. Simple application. I only do a init Help hub. Just that. I have here some stuff, but just me creating a page to demo. But if I just do that init Help hub and use it, no, actually the feature is not from Help hub. It's just that. I'm impressed to myself right now.
Yes.
It actually creates the login page, the registration page. It creates all the rules, all of these components. You can add it, you can override it, but if you don't need it, it's just created for you. It's created already. So if I click register, it goes to the register page. I will not. Oh, it works. I'm impressed because I have not used this project, this website, in the past year. I have using locally in my computer, but not here.
Yeah. Someone is asking, crypto is asking, can you combine this with Bootstrap in one project?
I
This
don't think so, but I think if you put Bootstrap early, previously before Half Hobby, it should work just fine. I think so. Or if there, just I don't know. I actually don't know. This is a really good question. What I do know is that when I worked with this, I was doing a project that used a lot of Telerik Candle UI. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, I know.
And it works really great with Candle UI. So that's I know, but the Bootstrap I actually don't know. I think it will work just fine. At least it has all of the grid systems from from Bootstrap. The
Okay.
grid, the way you use grids and stuff like that, it's the same way, same
Yeah.
class. I have copy and paste from Bootstrap.
Yeah. So I also think that is if you're already using Heartthrob already, then there's honestly this is just my own view. If it's okay if you're already using Bootstrap and then you want to add Heartthrob into it, but if you're using one dependency already that has all the components you need, then I don't see why you should use another. But again, my
Uh,
is
yeah, I
different.
can see uses. I can
different
see uses. Bootstrap has a lot of things that HelpHub doesn't at the moment. Um, the navigation, the header, some JavaScript features that for JavaScript features to work at Bootstrap, you have to have the CSS as well. So it kind of makes sense if you want to use both of them. I haven't thought about it, but I will certainly think about a way to make it work seamlessly
mm,
between. Um, but just to finish up here, this is I have created an account. I have a logout button here, and I have a manage account. It's in Portuguese. Sorry about that, but
it's
here I
fine.
have all of my informations. I can edit my profile here. This is using other than just my framework here, Health Hub React is
Mhm.
using the Fluent UI React framework from Microsoft. So the data picker, this is not working here. Oh, I have already fixed that bug, but only my computer.
Okay.
But it works great with that framework from Microsoft. And this is just by doing the init health hub here and
Mhm.
using my backend. You have all of these pages.
That's
Uh, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
cool.
Uh,
I think this is already super nice because it's like you said from the beginning, to make the developer experience better, you're making the flow and the onboarding for anybody using the library easier so that they get what they want and you don't have to like struggle too much to understand or get it working. It's nice.
yeah, it's I want to make it easy for people to make money. This is what we want in the end of the day, right?
That's the key. Right.
But I see. You see, I have gone to a store, a board game store where you can game place where we can play board games and stuff like that, and you pay it uh, for you have a price. It charges an hour by the game you pick, by the game you choose. So the
Oh,
manager of the store was doing all in the paper, all the calculation in a paper and in a clock. And I was thinking, oh, you simply don't have a system that already out there that makes this already. It's
mm,
too much specific for this kind of business that's starting to grow here in Brazil.
yeah.
Uh, and I wanted to come here, sit here in my desk and make a system. Like in 3 hours, I can make a system like that. But
Mm,
I can make a system and show him, but it's not great. With how Hub, I can make a system and show him it's great. But another thing that I have pointed out early is that if I want to make a system for him, I will probably spend 2 days just setting up everything in the computer, everything from React, from .NET, from the server, from everything, just to start actually coding what I just want to code.
yeah.
So this is frustrating for me, and this is frustrating because it helps the imposter syndrome that we all developers have. It's just frustrating.
I get it. I get that. Definitely gets that.
And another thing on top of that is that on the sample, the sample is just let me show you the health hobby fundamentals sample. I will send you the link so you can
Okay.
send out. This sample is just the front end and back end without anything empty. So you doesn't have even to add this line or this line. It's just a sample, a clean application. This using a NuGet package. And in the front end, we are using an npm package.
Okay.
They are in the public feed, I think, but I want to switch it in a private feed. And the code for this package is actually closed. So that's why I'm saying if you want to use it, please reach out to me.
I
I
see.
will give you access. Um, and the thing is, the sample had something that for me actually works a lot. Let me open the folder on Visual Studio.
Okay.
Uh, Go ahead, ask if you want to ask anything.
Now, I was going to also ask the so this sample includes both the backend and the front end.
Yeah, and an Azure Pipeline YAML.
Ah, okay.
So if you want to create, you don't know DevOps, anything like that.
Mhm.
If you're using Azure DevOps, you can simply configure here. If you're using a simple project at Azure, simple website, a simple application service, a simple SQL database, you can edit the variables in the Azure DevOps, and it will create this pipeline that I had here. This
Oh,
pipeline, a build pipeline for creating migrations, because it's using Entity Framework. Build the backend, build the front end, then it will deploy, and then we have a notification for oops, for
okay.
Telegram, and I have the code for notification at the Discord as well, but the Discord didn't work out, so I have Telegram notification only. And
Uh,
this was pretty awesome because
Usually I see Slack, not Telegram, or well, interesting, interesting.
this is pretty good because I had this client that want to know everything that was happening to the system. So I pushed down something, and when it was deployed, it sent out to the manager. And this actually the pipeline I have switched how the name was doing, so it got semantic versioning
Nice.
0.0.7, so it makes it easier to documentate, to write release notes. As I said, I am a tech writer right now, so I want to make it easy to create documentations.
Mhm.
So pretty much is it. Have hobbies a way for developers to worry only about the business plan and not developing.
Yeah, I think honestly, I'm also like big on experience, making it seamless for people to onboard, use your product, and just get, you know, things done, right? So it's nice
Yeah.
to also have at least thinking about that while you're working on the project. Thank you for sharing. Definitely liked like the progress from like you working on it since 2016 to still working. This could even be called like your passion project, right? Because you've been doing it
Yeah.
so long. That's very nice. And the commitment and dedication is also like very inspiring.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it was like since 2015 actually.
Oh,
Since 2015 I'm working on that.
interesting. Nice. But yeah, I guess if anybody's interested watching and you're interested in checking out Heartthrob, I left a lot of links in the chat. You should definitely check it out. And I'll also leave the links in the description for this video in case you're
I
watching it.
can share my email uh,
Yeah.
here. So if you want to use it, please reach out to me. I'm more than glad to put it on the project so you can push it direct to the branch. You don't need to fork. If you want to just use it, not help develop it, um, just ask.
Mhm.
I'm a nice guy. I will give it to you.
Issues. Yeah, cool. I like that we've been able to go through Heartthrob and we still have a bit of time. I would like us to have some conversation about, I know that you're currently in Brazil,
Yeah,
about community and how you're involved because before you started you were like you're an MVP or you were an MVP, now you're a Windows Insider expert. Is that what it's called? And um
yeah.
you
It's the Windows Insider MVP.
Mhm.
That's the insiders from the insiders, because it has millions of people using Windows every day that's testing Windows. So we are testing right now the Windows 11 from for that will ship 6 months from now. So
ah
we're actually testing it. It's a free to join
mm,
insider.windows.com, or just go to the settings. It's kind of go
insider
to the
yeah,
settings.
insiders before I didn't really know what they were.
Uh, Windows 11 and Windows 10 is the same path. So Windows settings, Windows Update, and you will have a button for the Windows Insider program.
Okay.
I don't remember any specific feature that. I only have here and not. Uh, let me search a little bit.
Okay.
So they release new builds almost every week almost, and
Mm.
you can see what changed, what they are fixing, what's the known issues. You can submit feedback to them. Oh, this is a function that I have on my computer. I don't have it because it's only in English,
Ah,
only US based, but
okay.
I I think they are shipping right now another version of the Windows. I don't recall because I'm using these
Oh,
features for so long right now that I don't recall. But the Windows Insider has millions of people working
mhm.
on that computer and making better. And then Microsoft has choose hundreds of people to represent that millions of people.
Ah,
So that's the Windows Insider MVP.
okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's less than 200 people. I'm not sure. In Brazil, I think it's only five or
Mm,
less. And my ultimate goal is to see, oh, this is working for you. This is not working for you. Uh, how can it, how can the Windows team makes it better? And then in the beginning of the every year we have the MVP summit, as I know you are
yeah,
aware of it.
yeah, I'm aware.
uh, and we insiders MVP pass to the Windows scene what we have been learning, researching,
Mhm.
and it makes better. It makes the product better.
Cool.
So uh, this is what I do every day, actually.
Wow. It shows that you are very like dedicated, honestly, because I definitely see how they release a lot. So you have to track of the things that are being released. And like you said in the program, you even get access to these things way before it's actually officially out. So to give feedback and all of that. So it's really good. I'm also an MVP currently, but for developer technologies. So it's interesting. I was just checking to see because I've not seen this category, but I think it's
Yeah, it's not a category. It we
yeah.
are only so the story goes like this. There was the Microsoft MVP program
Mhm.
back in 2016, I think. Some 2016, let's say that.
Okay.
And they are going to switch and say, oh, the Microsoft MVP will not only be for infrastructure and development.
Okay.
So there was a whole bunch of categories that would not just simply don't have the MVP
Mhm.
anymore. The Windows Phone category, the Windows development, the Xbox, the Bing MVPs. Um, you only got the MVP if you're a developer or an infrastructure person.
Okay.
But the Windows team, the Xbox team said, "Oh, these guys, they are really important for us. So we are going to make our own award. We
Ah,
doesn't need that." And just I have a lot of friends from the Microsoft MVP program, and
mhm.
and I play with them just a little bit because we from the Windows Insider had better gifts.
Ooh.
So yeah,
What else?
including this nice. Oh, I don't think this
Nice.
nice jacket from Microsoft. The Windows developer got it, and all Windows Insiders
Mhm.
developer got. I have actually won a Surface device twice
Wow.
in Microsoft Lumia,
Wow.
and
That's that's a lot now.
it's just
So
the
what I
awards is just better.
definitely I would say it is. So I remember that of course I got the I don't know if you can see behind me. I got
Yeah,
this
yeah, I see, I see.
then I have the Microsoft plaque or award and
Yeah.
then a bit of stickers and but I didn't get I didn't get any Surface book. So
No, I got it on the MVP summit.
Oh, okay.
in Redmond.
Ah,
Not they didn't ship to me. They
okay.
could actually they could, but they didn't ship it to me.
Cool. I think definitely, and all the programs, at least that I'm part of, they somehow have something that you're good at, and the perks are always, nice. Not just the perks, but also you being recognized as a member
Hmm.
of that community that you're doing something good. I think that's like the number one thing for me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Perks is like extra on top, so it's like great, cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of awesome to see more and more companies doing that because in the developer field was only Microsoft and Oracle, and then Google came in, and now GitHub, and I'm seeing a lot of Brazilian companies
Mm,
doing these star or MVP
yeah,
programs,
yeah.
and it's pretty amazing because um, we work at community and we are not paid to do that. We're
Right.
doing because we love, because we want to change everything around. So it's a reward. It's really grateful. It's
Mhm.
I will start crying here. I don't want to cry.
I totally understand how you feel. One minute, let's answer a question from the chat.
Yeah.
So, which program can you apply to as a beginner? I think you should explain why you get into the program in the first place or just answer the question because I feel like I've been asked this question too before.
Yeah, actually, you don't apply to it.
Yeah.
Someone recommends you,
Yeah.
or Microsoft sees you, but actually, it, and I will just say that if you just won the award, you will not get it. It should be truly, it should be sincere. So if you're working with community, if you're leading community, if you're helping people all over the world, all over your community, then you're doing a great job and Microsoft will see. If you're
Mhm.
doing that and Microsoft's not seeing you, please send details for me, and I think for you too as well, and we'll pass along. We
Yeah.
want more people at the MVP program,
Mhm.
but you cannot. I had a friend that, this is a little gossip. I had a friend that really wanted the award,
Mhm.
so he had posted in the blog every single day. He had made videos every single day. He's doing all of over events, but
Mhm.
when it came up to Microsoft to see if he deserves the award,
Mhm.
Microsoft saw and said, "Oh, you just made this for the award. You didn't do this for
You've
because
not,
you want to.
yeah. Honestly.
If I give you the award, you stop doing that."
Yeah, I can also chip in and say that definitely, like I said from the beginning, the all these MVP programs, they're more like um, giving you recognition for the work that you've already done. So it's not like
Yeah,
you get. So if so what I used to tell people is it's good to know that, oh, this is something that I can achieve and then work towards it. So now that you're starting out, you can probably start doing like blog posts, making open source projects. That's how you start. When I started doing all these things, I didn't even know that there was an award. Honestly, I
yeah,
didn't know there was an award until a friend of mine that works at Microsoft said he was going to nominate me. I didn't know about it, right? So just keep doing what you're doing and make sure that it's contributing to a community or you're doing it publicly. And that's how you get noticed, right? So it's not something
yeah,
you apply to like Vital said. Yeah.
yeah. If the I'm not just encouraging you. I actually want to encourage you, but I just have to say that if you're doing for the award, you will not get it. But if you're doing because you love, because you care, and I will give you an example. I have been teaching a class last month, and a class of people who have more than 50 years old, and
Nice.
they're switching careers, and they doesn't have a job for almost 5 years now, and they're studying hard and stuff like that. It's pretty bad, in a really bad situation, because they have to pay all of the bills. And I have heard a
Mm,
lot of stories like that.
mm,
um the economics here in Brazil, it's bad. I'm thinking the word, but in Brazil is really bad. And for me, it's more grateful to see the five of the people that was in my class got the job.
nice.
That was really grateful for me. It's way better than the award for me. um it's that it's like you said. Keep doing what you're doing. If you want to do more, if you want to start doing, I think that's what you said. Blog posts, participate in local communities, helping people. At least here I have like 12 groups in Telegram that people ask for help and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mentoring people is a great way. Open source is a great way. Just chatting in the Microsoft forums, Stack Overflow, everything like that is a great way to start.
A lot of ways to start, and you don't have to do everything too, because when
Yeah,
people see, like, when people see, or like, for example, people see me and they want to say, oh, do I need to do everything that Gift is doing to get? No, you don't have to. Just start like small, and then
yeah. Here in Brazil, we have pretty big names where you can see a really good number of follows on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, but they are not. This is not the rule for the award. This is not. There are people that doesn't even have a social media winning the award,
yeah,
because it's making a difference in their community, and that's what matter.
yeah. Great. I'm glad we had this conversation. I was also going to ask you something else about Brazil. Like, currently, what's the situation with meetups and all of that, conferences? Is it like happening?
It's happening online. We are not doing physically yet. Some groups had started, and I really excited about going back to meetups in person, because at least here in São Paulo we have like 5 meetups every single day. You have to choose it, what
Mm,
meetup you want to go.
I want to go to Sao Paulo. Like, I want to visit.
Please
Yeah.
come. I will show you around. It's a lovely city. I love here. But now it's only online. We're doing online because of COVID, and we are going back in person slowly. But I think in the end of the year we have major events coming up here, like the developer conference, Microsoft Ignite, the tour. I think
Nice.
they will come. A lot of big events coming here, so there's a lot to look out in the community in Brazil, and I know that because I had a job as developer relations, where I had to look at every single event that was going on,
Mhm.
and I know this year is gonna be on fire. Actually, there is a event from a friend of mine that the that I will show you here, because
Yes.
I don't. My cell phone is far behind me. It's the Woman Developer Conference.
Mm.
It's online, and also it's no, it's not any of these links. Yeah, DWC. Let me pick up here. Uh, it's in the end of this month.
Oh.
I think. Oh, it's not loading.
I learned it here. Let's see. But yeah,
um,
it's here.
DWC. Let me check on the Instagram here just a sec. It's an event later this month, and it's online, and also a physical event.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have the link. Now it works.
Yeah, it works
Now
for me.
it's working. No, it's not working. I will just send the LinkedIn, the
Yeah.
Instagram here.
Okay.
So we have like awesome people that I worked with, like Slamita and Daisy Lamura, Dani Monteiro, who is also an MVP.
Okay.
Uh, and this event is focused on women because uh, I think this globally uh, IT and the developer world is mainly based. So we kind of want to switch it and help more women get jobs and learn and study it. So if you're interested in learning Portuguese and reaching out to Brazilian
Oh,
community, these events it's free and I think you're gonna like it.
yeah, I'm going to definitely share it. I'm struggling to learn Dutch as it is. I don't know. I
I
can,
give up on that.
but yeah, definitely. I personally am very big on empowerment, women empowerment. When I was in Nigeria, because I'm from Nigeria, but I've moved
Yeah.
to Amsterdam now, I used to organize a lot of meetups, workshops for women, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. It's just that there's so much that I'm doing right now that I could not continue doing it. Of course, I'm new in this community here in Amsterdam, but here I'm part of women only groups as well that organizes events, workshop, and currently, maybe I should also plug this in this stream. I'm currently also doing like a boot camp. It's not women focused, but it's for
Awesome.
everybody that's interested in learning web development. And we're going to teach you for free. At least you don't get to pay anything upfront to get into the program. So that's something I'm very excited about. Yeah.
Awesome. Like awesome. Really awesome.
Yeah, it was nice. It's nice. I mean, I like doing all of these things to help more people get into the industry. It's like very if it gives me joy when I see somebody say, "Oh, gifts." I saw this video and I'm now working in so place or so company. It's so nice to hear every time.
Yeah.
So even if it's maybe I helped them by a little, maybe encouraging them or something, it's always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this past few weeks, I have been writing not much about developing and something like that. I'm writing and sharing content about burnout, imposter
Mm,
syndrome, so depression, anxiety. So that I had burnout a few months ago in my previous job.
mm.
So just sharing that and receiving feedback on that is amazing because it encourages people, and I think this is a great job you're doing. Keep doing.
Thank you. And same goes to you as well. Uh,
Thank you.
I mean, we are doing our best, so that's good. Well, thank you so much. This was a fun stream. I like
I
how
thank you.
how we ended, like talking about non-tech stuff, but it was nice. Wait, we have one comment. Please, I know this might be off topic, but is app development with Flutter Dev better than other options? I don't use Flutter, so I don't know.
I only can speak from Brazilian community.
Okay.
Uh, Yeah, here I have not used it. There is a major company here
Mhm.
that uses it, but it's the only major company using it.
Mm.
Most of the companies are using React, Angular, or anything else. Uh, Vue, I don't know other names, but I can remember only one major company in Brazil using that. So if this helps you, it's only Brazil that I know.
Yeah, my comments about this would be that I know that React Native is big, but recently I started seeing a shift from this is just on Twitter, by the way. So don't take my comments for anything. But I've recently seen like a shift from people talking about React Native to using Flutter. I don't know why that's the case. But my own advice would be, at the end of the day, you want to be able to, have a skill that can land you a job, right? So
Yeah,
if you're in a community that is using React Native, please learn React Native, because at the end of, you don't want to learn something that you struggle to find a job in because it's not being used by a lot of companies where you're based. And I'm guessing you're in Nigeria, but correct me if I'm wrong. But um, try to, it's good to have like a lot of, extensive knowledge in all these areas. But if your goal is to land a job, try
yeah,
to the in-demand skill. That's my own take on that.
yeah. I will just add to that because at least from not early generations, but this generations of people that's starting to work in the front end development here in Brazil. The juniors, they are going nuts on Flutter, nuts on Node, nuts on React Native, React. They go wild. They do amazing things. But then I call one of them to work with me, and we are working on a WordPress website. He was just doing the header and the footer, just divs, class, attributes, just common HTML and CSS, and the person doesn't knew how to do that. It's simply new to him or to her because they did not focus on the basics that is HTML or CSS, or it just don't didn't. And if you want to grow, I think that you should see not as Flutter, not as React Native, not as um, I don't remember Ionic.
Mhm.
Um, Start doing the JavaScript, TypeScript, and I have worked in a company where I have switched from React to Angular every couple of months.
Mm.
So doesn't attach to one framework. Go
Mm.
with, I know the basics, and the basics is JavaScript, TypeScript. If you want to go to the front end, unit tests. That's development unit tests, dependency injection, and clean code, clean architecture. If you go with that, if you're good in that, in these pillars of knowledge, then you would not be afraid let's I have a project using Flutter. You want a job with that? Oh man, I have not used Flutter before, but I know much about TypeScript. I would love that challenge. Please give me that job, and they will give that job. At least I have done this. I have given people opportunity. I have hired people based on that. So
That's very, yeah, that's also like very important. Thank you for bringing it up. Learning the basics is very important. And like you said, it's not the route that a lot of people are taking these days, because obviously the things you hear mostly about is the frameworks, right? Nobody's saying, actually, now that I think about it, there is a newsletter that I signed up for. I think I've signed up for that newsletter for the last 4 years. That the name is, I think, strictly Vanilla JS. I'm not sure if that's the name, but he
yeah,
spends like every day one thing you need to know about vanilla JavaScript. How to
I think
manage.
this is the one, right?
Is it this one? I'm not sure. If I check my email, I'm sure I'll find it. But yeah,
Okay.
really nice. It's very good. So go make things. At least that's the name I see here. Um, I'll leave the link here too in case you're interested. But yeah, the basics is very, very important. Very important. Cool. Well,
Awesome.
I guess we'll just wrap up here then. This was a nice conversation. I really enjoyed talking to you. Uh, where can people find you if they would like to, you know?
On Twitter, on Instagram, is the VT underscore here.
Yeah,
Norton, like the antivirus, but I'm not only owner of the antivirus.
I
I
actually
wish.
thought that. I've seen this name somewhere before.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I do also live stream on Twitch every single Sunday in the
Nice.
afternoon, mostly in Portuguese. Sorry, but if it's anybody in English and interested and want to ask questions about C Sharp over there, just go. Let me pick up the link. Twitch slash Vítor Norton. Um,
Okay.
Let's go there. Currently, I'm rebuilding a Windows Universal application with Win UI. Also, if you want to learn Portuguese, this is a great
I think
application
I'll
because
Portuguese.
I'm building an app for conjugating verbs in Portuguese.
Ah,
So this is a really nice project that I'm working on. I already had this launched in 2015, but the code was a mess, and I'm rewriting it right
okay.
now, and I'm rewriting it on live stream.
Oh,
So
okay.
every
That's
single Sunday, it's
good.
awesome.
It's a cool project. Cool. Well, thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you. Thank you so much. This was a fun stream. Thanks everyone for joining in. See you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.